Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Nonstop Tech. I'm your host, Doc Rock.
And I'm Jerome. Yay.
Yay.
Yeah, I know,
Today we're filming at the new greenhouse. Like, it keeps getting bigger. It's kind of like we add a little water and it grows. It's getting bigger. Anyway, we'd like to thank the greenhouse for, of course, allowing us to be here to film today. And we also got to give a big shout out to our sponsors, iFix Pro. So, Jerome and I have been missing for a little bit because he got sick and then I got sick. And then it's just been crazy.
Too much sickness.
Now we're back. Maybe we should take some vitamin C.
Man, you gave me too much of that. What'd you give me to drink again? That stuff was good.
Keep that for a different show. Anyway, so today, what are we talking about, Jerome?
I was thinking we should talk about just online storage, cloud-based storage, because there's a lot of options out there now. And if you're kind of cheap, you can get all the free options, and you have a lot of online storage space, and it doesn't cost you a dime. So,
actually, I kind of like the ones I pay for, but it's only a small amount. So we can discuss the difference between freemium and premium, and there are some good reasons for both. Anyway, so what do you want to start with?
Your favorite, Microsoft SkyDrive.
Well, I don't know about my favorite. I mean, it's only recently come on the scene, but I haven't really paid that much attention to it because I have a large collection of storage now. So what's cool about SkyDrive? What do you got for us?
Well, you get 25 gigs free. That's, I think, the largest I've seen so far.
The largest of the free.
Yeah, largest of the free. If you use Office on a daily basis, I know some people have to. SkyDrive is amazing. It kind of just integrates really well. Windows Phone. Pretty much, it's similar to Apple's iCloud, only for Microsoft. I mean, one little kind of issue I have with it, though, there's like a 100 meg upload limit. So I know I've seen spreadsheets and PowerPoint presentations that are much larger than that. And if you have 25 gigs of storage, I mean, really?
Why does it have a 100 meg upload limit?
Piracy, more likely. That's the only thing I can think of. Got to keep the honest people honest, right?
So in that case, if you want to upload something large, what you would probably need to do is use a tool like WinRAR or WinZip and create little segments and just upload it in segments, which will sort of rebuild themselves after.
See, the thing is, I personally haven't used this. I should really actually jump in and use it. Since it's free, I think I'm just going to download it and mess around with it just to see what it's like.
Is it platform independent?
It is, yes. It's either browser-based or there's apps out now. So
cool.
You can just kind of use it. If you do a lot of collaboration for your business too, and like I said, if you're tied into Office, I know a lot of people are. They're used to that platform. I mean, it's free. You can't go wrong. That's 25 gigs. And if you have, I know there's some people who love Windows Phone. I mean, it's really smooth, responsive if you want an alternative to Android. And it integrates really well with that also. Cool.
Of the online storage, I guess, guys in the arena, my favorite, hands down, has got to be DropBox.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm going to dedicate this entire segment to my friend J. Lou because she had this conversation maybe just 2 days ago on Twitter. She sent me a tweet asking about the difference between DropBox and Evernote. And it's kind of cool because I use both, and there's very specific reasons for both. We'll save the Evernote for different. That's a whole show in itself. But let's just cover Dropbox. First and foremost, it's free, and then they have a paid version. Free will get you 2 gigs, and then the paid version, I believe I pay $100 a year to get 50 gigs. But what's really cool about Dropbox, once you sign up, as you refer people in, you get additional space. So although I'm paying for 50 gigs, I think through referrals, I'm up to about 75 gigs.
Well, how many people have you referred? That's what, 25 people, isn't it?
Because every person that I come into contact with asks me about online storage, I tell them to use Dropbox. No, so the things I like about Dropbox, one, it's platform agnostic. So it works on Mac, it works on Windows, it works on iPhone, it works on Android, it works on the iPad, it works on Linux. It works everywhere, right? The other thing I like about Dropbox is what it really does is it looks at a set of folders on your computer and it basically rsyncs them to folder on their server. So whatever's in that folder on your computer will be exactly the same thing that's in the folder on that server, which then means when you go to pull up the show notes for today, the file that Jerome dropped in his folder goes up to Dropbox and we share this folder. So I can see any notes as we collaborate on, putting these shows together. Jerome puts in his part of the outline. I either add to it or just say, hey, that's it. We'll just run with yours. And I can open that file. If I make save or changes, it totally works. And what's neat is it has built-in versioning. So if I did something horribly wrong to the outline, there's a way for me to go back to the last copy that Jerome put in or the copy that we saved like an hour ago and go back to it. One of the most underutilized features of Dropbox, and I know hundreds of you out there who use Dropbox don't even remember that you can do versioning, right?
I've never used it once. I think that's a good thing though, because if you have to use it,
it's cool. I've used it before because have gone in and deleted a bunch of stuff that's on Dropbox, and it's been deleted for a couple of days now. And then I go back and go, oh, that was the wrong folder, and then you just click on it, and you can press a button, and it all jumps right back in. So super cool. Hey, it's cool. This is going out to J. Lou because I just saw Robert's Hawaii bus roll by, and well, she works for them. So how apropos. We got windows now, so if we're distracted from time to time. We're watching stuff go by the windows or watching people outside waving at us as we film.
Shiny
this.
object.
So anyway, the cool thing about Dropbox, again, having the ability to go back and recover deleted things, that's very, very helpful. And also what's neat is you can share things. So like I said, Jerome and I share a folder. If I want to share a folder with someone, say one of you, it's so simple. I send you an email that says, I want to share this particular folder with you, and anything that either of us put in that folder works. If there's any drawback to Dropbox is people forget that it has to match what's on your computer. Yeah. So if I have a 50 gig Dropbox account, that means I need 50 gigs of space on my computer at all time, because that's it. What I've done is I use Dropbox as my home folder.
Okay.
So everything that I would normally save in the home folder or my documents is actually stored in Dropbox.
That's a good idea. That's a really good idea.
And then you don't have to worry about it at all. So
can you link
part of it is cool.
straight to a file in Dropbox, or do you have to share the folder?
You can link straight to a file if you put it in the public folder.
Okay.
So that's about it.
We're just curious because I know a lot of the other services you can link directly to any file,
right,
no matter where it's at in the structure.
So again, the file structure is really easy. If you know how to use Windows, you know how to use Dropbox. If you know how to use Macintosh, you know how to use Dropbox.
Oh.
So that's what's really cool. So after we take a quick break, and then we'll be back to talk about the rest. Okay, so we're back. And once again, we'd like to thank our sponsors. Anything you can do for them, hit their Facebook page, hit their like, talk about them on Twitter. That's all we need. Help us out. Anyway, so what's next after Dropbox? What is some other alternative?
Let's do Box.net.
Box.net is cool. I got one because I saw the thing that they posted about a free account. Is that how you did it?
And I missed it. Because how much space was it?
I believe it was 5 gigs free. I'll tell you in 2 seconds.
Well, I know they had 5 gigs. Didn't they have a larger one, though, for a certain amount of promo?
Oh, that's right.
I can't believe I missed that.
Yeah, well, it went around the Twitter nets for quite a while, and everybody was like, yo, you got to get yours while it's free. You got to get yours while it's free. So I believe that's what I did. Here, let me check my updates. Anyway, so what's cool about them, it's basically the same as Dropbox. The only difference is, I think, too, they have a small upload capability.
Oh, so it's tied down to something smaller than...
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it was like, it may be 100 megs too. And I'm not sure why, a lot of these guys feel that that's the way to go. But for what most people need to send to their cloud storage, it works.
It's usually documents and stuff. And
basically documents and stuff. So here, I'm looking on this thing right here. You got your standard mobile access. It's totally online. Yeah, you can do links, which is kind of cool. You can use it for tasks and uploads and things like that. So I think it's similar to the Microsoft one. Again, the number one thing to me that was cool about the box is I just did it when the tweet was going out and they were giving out, I believe it was 50 gigs or 25 gigs, something like that. And I remember all of us all signed up at the same time. I can't really say I used it too much. I think I have like 3-4 files in my whole thing.
So the reason we all use Dropbox is app integration.
Yep.
Dropbox, almost any application that's cloud-based, ties into Dropbox. I hate to bring up Dropbox again. I know it's supposed to be Box.net's little area, but good God, there's no way that any of the other kind of competitors are as prevalent as
Dropbox is. I say that when people ask me, well, why should I use that? Even like Amazon Cloud Storage.
We agree on this. Come on.
Amazon Cloud Storage is cool. You can buy an MP3 from Amazon, and they'll hook you up with 20 gigs of storage. But the thing that's neat about Dropbox is the apps. Every time you hear me talk about an app, one of my number one features I'll always bring up is Dropbox integration. Now for iOS people, you're starting to see iCloud integration. And I'm sure as Windows Phone starts to move forward, you'll see the Microsoft integration. But Dropbox is always there. And what's really cool about that is you can get access to your data no matter where you are. The other thing that's great is, say this outline that Jerome created. Because it is stored in a Dropbox, I can edit this outline on my iPad. I can edit the outline on my iPhone, and I can go back to my Mac Pro or my MacBook and edit that outline because it's in Dropbox. I could go to the greenhouse where I am right now, and I could jump on John's iMac in the back and open up Dropbox on the web, open that file, edit it, put it back. So you have access to these files anywhere. And if it's a thing that's actually being synced, like one of the computers being synced, you can work on it live, and the data all stays there. So that's sort of what's really cool about Dropbox. And I'm assuming that as Box.net grows into it, they'll start to see some app integration. They actually, if I remember correctly, they were out first.
They're huge, though. I mean, a lot of big companies use it.
A lot of big companies use it. You know, I think Dropbox, if there's one thing that you had to give it wrong, is they had a little security faux pas a while back, and that scared people, but it was only minor, and I'd say don't worry about it. Jump in there, get your Dropbox on.
I like it. I use it on a daily basis. I mean, there's not a day I don't use it, so.
Okay. I guess we should cover security real quick.
Yeah.
People always say, well, I don't want to put my stuff on the cloud because it's unsecure. And I'm like, well, is it in your computer? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, so the stuff in the cloud requires a decent amount of work to hack into, to get access to, and then to unencrypt it and be able to use it. If they really wanted your stuff, say your stuff specifically, so you, Mike Jones, I want your stuff. Instead of hacking, I break in your house, I steal your computer.
Oops.
I have the entire computer. And then now I can just get access to it.
Or nowadays you can just ask nicely, hey, I need your credit card info. Oh, here you go. I'm from the bank.
So the stuff in your house on your home drive sitting in your house is probably less secure than anything that's online.
Yeah.
Because what a lot of people do, and I've gone to customers' house over and over again, and one of you know right now you're guilty. The password to your computer and your accounts is taped on the front of your freaking screen.
Or on stickies. All over the desktop. Oh, jeez.
So I wouldn't worry so much about the online security because the number one security flaw is human beings. It's kind of crazy.
Yep.
So don't get too caught up in it's not safe because it's in your inbox. Get over it. You probably have a better security breach in your house right now. There you go. That being said,
Off your soapbox now?
yeah, no.
I agree with them, though.
Not
I
even a
definitely agree with
soapbox. It's just that a lot of people are worried about using cloud computing because they're worried about the security of it. But they do very unsecure stuff on a daily basis. Like every one of your passwords is the same.
One password. No, shit.
Yeah, I'm going to bug them when we go to Macworld for our sponsorship. All right, so I think we covered Dropbox, we covered iCloud, Box.net, Microsoft SkyDrive. That's some of the basics for cloud storage. There are some more out there. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please feel free to drop us an email. And maybe we can find some more cool ones.
Or if you've actually used SkyDrive and have some feedback, please let us know.
Cool. What do you got for an app for me?
For an app? Hey, we're not going to cover the last thing?
What's
or just
the
real
last
quick? Just iCloud real quick?
I thought we did iCloud.
I guess we did.
Well, no. We'll give it a little bit.
We've done it before.
We'll give it a little bit of it. Okay, so iCloud. Use it.
It's use it. If you get a chance, just use it. It's free. It backs up any of your iOS devices. A lot of the applications now have iCloud integration. One that I use now, I know I used to use, what the heck was that
Pocket
podcast?
Cast.
It's Pocket Cast, but I jumped to Instacast because it has the iCloud integration, and I actually like it. At first, it was a little buggy because it wasn't really syncing up like where I left off in my podcasts. But now it's actually keeping track of that, so I'm pretty dang happy.
Actually, so iCloud is very similar to Dropbox, but it's more like what used to be MobileMe because, well, that's what it is. But I can tell you something cool about iCloud. Just today, one of my little sisters calls me and she says, I just set up my iPad. I updated to the new stuff. We're about to catch the plane. We're coming out there to see you guys for Christmas. And after I update it, all my apps are missing. And so what is my 6-year-old nephew going to do on the plane for 5 hours? She's freaking out. And I go, okay, so go ahead and sign into iCloud. And she does. And I go, now go to the App Store and click on purchases, and she does. And she goes, oh, it's all in there. All I have to do is press install. And I was like, yep, baby girl, you got it. Press the button, and you get your stuff back. So that's one of the cool things about iCloud is you don't have to actually hoard all of these apps. Okay, I have like 390-something apps. But right now, currently in this iPad, there's probably about 60. I move things in and out now because iCloud allows you to do that. So, for instance, I have one folder dedicated to travel, but I have nothing in there right now. As we're getting ready for Macworld, I will bring in those apps in a couple weeks, and I'll have the apps that I need for traveling, which we'll discuss later. They'll all be in that one folder. I can just bring them in. Once we return from Macworld, I can delete them, and I'll put them back in time to go to South by Southwest. You see, so I don't want those apps just sitting in my iPad all the time because they're just wasting space, and I can use that space for something else. And I think that's one of the cool things is now you can do that. Now you use Cloud Match. What the hell damn thing called? Match.
iTunes Match.
iTunes Match. You use that, right?
Yeah. Works really well.
There's another cool thing for iCloud.
It's $25 a year, which is pretty dang cheap. Even if you have music that's not been obtained, that you got for free, let's say it that way, it'll actually allow you to shoot it up to the cloud, and it'll actually give you a good copy. So if you have like this crappy MP3, it'll actually give you a 256 kilobit kind of
You're not
nice
supposed to
A.
teach people bad stuff.
It's not bad stuff. That's why you're paying $25, right?
Yeah.
But what it does, it actually allows you to access your music from anywhere on your iOS devices or on your Macs. So let's say I'm on the go and crap, I forgot to sync that new song I just purchased. It'll be up
in the morning.
Oh, geez, not that song. It's gonna be stuck in my head again. It'll actually allow you to download the song, and pretty much while it's downloading, you can listen to it. So you can it's kind of partially streaming, but it'll actually move it to your device.
So that's kind of cool because, right before, especially during Christmas season, people are about to buy an iPad or about to buy an iPhone, and they're like, what size should I get? And I'm like, before we used to dictate that based on your music library. You really don't have to do that now because you can move things in and out a lot quicker, especially since there's the wireless syncing in that. So I think with iCloud and Music Match, things like that, or iCloud Match, however you want to call it, iTunes Match. I mean, you don't have to worry about that.
Did you listen to, was it David Sparks, right?
Yes.
That iTunes Match episode by chance?
I listened to part of it, but not all of it because I don't actually want to get Match.
So one amazing thing is if you do have like a family that has like, everyone has like different songs, you can it syncs to playlists too. So what you can do is if you want your kids to have like this, want them to be on the same account, when they're young, you don't want them jumping around and just buying everything, or you give them a credit card or something silly. But it actually, you can just set up different playlists for each person, plug in the account information, and then they can listen to their playlists. You can download those playlists, which I thought was actually kind of cool. The only issue you're going to run into later on down the road when they want their own account when they get older, but they don't want to, kind of listen to your crappy music, you're going to have to kind of get them their own account. That's the only bad thing about it.
Just do like me. Don't have kids. Hell with kids.
So negative.
Joking. Anyway, so yeah, I think iCloud is again, it's in its infancy. So I guess theoretically it's still in beta. It's only going to get better from here. So just always, go ahead and use it now so you can start using it. What a lot of people like to do is they're like, well, I'll wait until the next thing comes out or until the next one comes out.
Then
you never end up using it. And when you finally decide to jump in, you're behind the curve, right? So I was just watching the Inc. Keynote that Gary Vaynerchuk just did about 5 days ago, and he polled the room, and he said he wants everyone to be honest. Like, how many of you, 6-7 years ago said, I'm never going to get a cell phone. I don't need a cell phone. I don't need to be heavily connected. And 60% of the room raised their hand. And of course, everyone has a cell phone, right? And he goes, okay, let's just take it back 2 years ago. How many goes, Facebook? Hell, I don't need a Facebook. I don't want people, or Twitter. I don't want people to know what I'm doing and when I'm doing it. And he asked them how many of them now have Twitter, and everybody raised their hand. So, yeah, you might not think you need iCloud now, but you should do it now while it's not important. it's much harder to learn these things when it becomes mission critical. So it's better to dabble with it now while you have the chance to do things crazy and make mistakes and sort of mess around with it when it's not, tokubetsu or taisetsu, important. Yeah? Cool. All right.
So now we can do our apps.
Now you can
Finally.
do your app. What's your app?
I have to pick this app because I actually use this application every so often. But Sketch. Sketch is now on the iPad. If you ever
Shut the front door.
Yeah.
No,
I sat at my
seriously,
feet.
shut the front door. It just came open.
I don't know. Walk over there. Hey, John. No, I'm just kidding. That's messed up, actually. So Sketch, what it is, it allows you to take a screenshot. And then the cool thing is you can actually draw like arrows, you can annotate, you can crop, and then you can share it either with, I believe the Sketch account is still around. Well, Evernote owns it now. So
Evernote owns Sketch.
If you used Evernote, you more likely, I'd recommend get Sketch. Get it on your computer also. Just an amazing application. You can put like little notes, you can put text in, you can put shapes, and then it's really easy to share. You hit the share button, pretty much. Well, I should finish cropping to tell you the truth before I do that. You hit the share button, you can shoot it up to Twitter. You can AirPlay it, which is kind of cool if you're giving a presentation. You can save it to your photos and then email it out. So just your choice what you want to do with it. But it's on the iPad now. And the cool thing is I have even more use out of my iPad now because this number one, the battery lasts much longer on this. Number two, it's easy to share it between different devices.
I'm looking for it and I can't find it.
I'll shoot you the link. So one bad thing, if you're listening to this, more likely it'll be in the App Store. Right now, if you look for Sketch, don't know why you can't find it, but there are a couple of direct links out there if you do a Google search.
Cool. I will Google search the heck out of that because that, to me, is very cool. I use Sketch a lot. As a matter of fact, Sketch has, again, is one of these things where there's a premium and then there's a free. I actually use the premium one because of the way it allows you to store things that you can get back to it later and stuff like that. SKITCH. Boom, for iPad. Bam. Okay. Got it. Found it. Yeah, Sketch for iPad is very cool. I'm going to go ahead and grab that right now. I kind of like that. Is that the only, you mean you don't have a fancy game for us?
I always have games, but I promise I wouldn't do it anymore.
Why? There's some people out there that
One more thing, if you picked up Notability before, amazing app, I think it's still 99 cents. It used to be like an audio, it records audio and allowed you to take notes also, just pretty much an outline view. Well, they added in, I believe it's 4.0 that came out, but they added in handwriting recognition, they added in just, you can do, draw shapes, just do freeform drawing. For 99 cents, if that's still the price, amazing application. I recommend jump on it, especially if you need to have a good note-taking app. For my game, what can I do? Actually, you know what I'm going to do? If you like zombies, and there's this Flash game that was out a while back called Rebuild. It's now out on the iPad. It works on the original iPad and the iPad 2. And all it is you're pretty much rebuilding a town. You're kind of finding survivors. And the graphics on it kind of suck. Let me see if I can get this loaded real quick. But you're pretty much building a town, and then you have like choices you can make. You can be like a real punk, or you can be really nice to survivors. You can sell your people into like slavery if you want, and you're pretty much just trying to survive, get back to City Hall, and put the government back into place, and kind of defeat the zombies. So it looks like this. Has kind of a creepy soundtrack. Let me see if I can get in here. Like I said, the graphics are rather they're really barren, but kind of looks like this. See, nothing fancy. But you just
that looks like an old Sim game.
Yeah,
like
it does.
Sim City or something.
And pretty much what you do is you kind of move around and you kind of fortify the area. You kind of just take more and more space back from the zombies until you regain the town. That is it. That's my game.
Cool. All right. Well.
Now, what's your app? I'm actually curious.
Honestly, my new app, I think I'm going to have to go with this thing called TuneIn Radio. TuneIn Radio is really cool because it allows you to listen to radio stations from all over the world. Hey, stop that.
There goes the...
And unlike, iHeartRadio is a Clear Channel thing. That means the stations have to be in Clear Channel. TuneIn Radio literally works all over the world. So I can click on a country like Germany or Spain or, of course, Japan, which I listen to the most. And I can actually tune in and hear shows that I'm used to hearing back during the time that I lived in Japan. Now, there is some on-demand aspects to it, too. So you can pull some shows that have been recorded previously, but mostly it will let you listen to any radio station.
That's awesome.
And I'm sure they don't have them all, but they have all of the major stuff. So for an app that didn't cost a dime, I think it's a really, really cool app.
There's a paid one too, right? To get rid of the ads?
Honestly, let me check real quick because I don't remember. I just remember when I got it, I saw an ad for it on like a website, and I was like, yo, this is cool. I want to go check it out. And I went and got it, and I just thought it was the coolest thing. Yes, there is a pro version, and let's investigate that. The pro version is a whopping 99 centavos.
So a quarter of a coffee. Yes.
Actually, that's like a sip of coffee. Coffee's expensive these days. So yeah, for a cup of coffee. For less than a cup of coffee, you can go ahead and get TuneIn Radio Pro. I didn't even realize that. I'll just go ahead and grab that because yeah, it's really, really cool being able to hear stations from all over. It's going to be great during my World Cup time and soccer Euro times because I can hear the calls when I can't watch a game. So that's one.
Did you call it soccer?
Football.
Thank you. I had to say it. I had to.
Shut it. And then I think my other one, we only covered it briefly, so I'm going to put it there. A lot of you guys are going to be getting iPhones, iPad, Android, even, God forbid, you get a BlackBerry. You guys are going to get these new devices for Christmas. The one app that should go on any device the minute you get it, Evernote, DropBox.
I'll second that.
That's 2 apps.
Yeah, I agree with you again. What's going on here? The show's ruined now. Ruined!
Yeah, we'll find something to fight about. Yeah, so
Android's good.
Evernote, it's really hard to explain what it is, but the icon of the elephant sort of says it all. It helps you remember things. Evernote's been out for a while, and a lot of you guys know about it. But I do believe a lot of people aren't really using it to its full advantage. So I strongly suggest put the app in your phone. One thing I like about it, as we get ready to be more productive for the new year, which everyone does, it's a great way to empty your brain. You can have documents on your desk you need to scan. You can take a picture with Evernote. You have PDFs that someone emailed you, your end of year taxes or these statements and things. You can send that to Evernote. You can make a quick vocal note. You can send that to Evernote. You could be out in the store and you see this item that you want to buy, but you're not going to buy it today. But there's a selection, and you've narrowed it down to what you want. Take a picture with that, boom, send it to Evernote. So it can do pictures, it can do voice notes, it can do links.
Anything.
You can write directly in it. You can copy and paste things, send it whole web pages, send it PDFs.
Too much.
Crazy. We need to do a whole show on Evernote. But for now, if you got a new device for Christmas and you're watching this, just download it, get it in there, and we'll get a show on Evernote alone specifically. It's going to probably be like an hour-long show.
Oh, God.
It's not that it's hard.
Well, there's Evernote,
it's powerful.
there's SpringPad now. I mean, there's so many different applications.
I tried the other guys. I'll give every one of the other guys a middle finger. Evernote. Anybody out there think you got something that steps to Evernote, like Devin Think, whatever, let me know. Because I will smash it. Devin Think is cool, costs a lot of money. Evernote's free, kicks butt. SpringPad is cool. It's a little bifurcated. Their programmers aren't as cool as the Evernote guys. So, sorry, SpringPad. I tried it for like 6 months. Went right back to the green elephant.
I need to go back to Evernote, actually. I feel
Evernote's
bad.
money, dude. It can do so many things. And actually, it's kind of funny. I throw things in there just out of habit, and I don't go back there and look at them, but I know they're safe in Evernote. But there are some cool things out there that allow you to be a little bit more interactive with it. So that's it.
There we go.
Get Evernote and DropBox.
And DropBox. Yeah.
Okay.
And iCloud
Say
to get my
goodbye,
iOS
Dana.
devices. All right. No shit.
That does it for us. We'd like to thank you for watching another show. We'll be back soon. Hopefully neither one of us get sick or knock on wood, but I might knock the tree down. And happy holidays. We'll see you again right after the new one. Peace.
Take it easy.